If you've seen the movies Children of Men and I, Robot, then you might find the plot of the 2023 sci-fi action film The Creator familiar. Released on September 29, 2023, and produced and directed by Gareth Edwards, it stars John David Washington, Gemma Chan, and Ken Watanabe with a production budget of $80 million. Set in the year 2055, The Creator centers around a war between man and machine. Military undercover agent Joshua Taylor, played by Washington, is on a mission to find and destroy an AI-built advanced weapon named Alpha O. He is sent behind enemy lines to locate the weapon and its creator, Armada. The movie earned only $103 million at the box office, being labeled a flop despite receiving generally positive reviews. Having grown up watching movies like The Terminator and AI Artificial Intelligence, I was fully invested in a sci-fi movie that dealt with artificial technology and its role in our future. But before we dive into the review, if you're interested in our content or like what you've seen so far, feel free to like and subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell for updates on more content like this. Now, let's get critical. From the sweeping establishing shots to the intricacies and nuances of the robots, the creators spared no expense in delivering a visually stunning experience. Co-cinematographer Oren Saffer and Greg Fraser executed their visionary plan to perfection, showcasing the beautiful oceans, rice fields, and countrysides where subtle uses of technology can be seen. Most of the film was shot in Thailand, and in contrast, the gritty and heavily technologically reliant inner cities gave the viewer an experience not too different from Blade Runner. Unfortunately, as much as I visually enjoyed this film, I found it to be a case of more style than substance. As is the case with many movies that have the potential to delve deeper into the meaning of life and what it means to be human, the creator seems to lack the tact and patience to ask the hard questions. Instead, it uses the overall narrative surrounding Joshua Taylor to drive the movie. The war between Western nations and robot sympathizers is just the backdrop to the viewer's main focus, Taylor. The direction and writing seem to be at odds with one another at times. When I felt the narrative was trying to build a relationship visually, the writing or actions were lacking to support this direction. Other times, the writing was pushing for a cathartic emotional revelation. However, the direction was too fast-paced, not allowing the moment to breathe. It felt as though, in fear of the movie being labeled slow or slow-paced, Edwards was determined to have moments of clarity and nuance riddled with war, gunfire, and destruction. And maybe that was the goal. Whether intentional or unintentional, the pace of the movie could have benefited from less action and more story and explanation. As far as the story is concerned, I enjoyed the idea that a war between man and machine started from a coding era, human era, that led to the nuclear bombing of Los Angeles. I had to suspend disbelief when it's the Western nations that maintain technological superiority, and to this point, further emphasizing the lengths those in power will go to maintain control. This iron fist level of control leads viewers to see the robots and their factions as rebels. I believe the director wants the viewer to sympathize with AI in this way, the same way you sympathize with Luke and the rebel forces against the Empire. Considering this notion, the movie, while it would like you to think there are other participants in this war, shows only the US as the dominating force and portraying acts of war. Commanded by a singular sneering hard-nosed general, the US seems to have sweeping authority to bomb any place deemed a threat or a base for AI operations, which is not too far from the truth. However, to my aforementioned point of glossing over nuances that could be explored, as Taylor reaches a checkpoint in his journey to finding Armada, he's camped out in a city behind enemy lines where the citizens appear to be impoverished and under martial law, with robots policing citizens on every corner. This would have been an excellent window into the world of the other side, and that robots are not all good, as the narrative would have you believe. The robot's police state could serve as a complex development in how Taylor and the viewers see the development of AI. The only reason Taylor is invested in anything dealing with this war at this point is due to personal investment, and that's where the movie is its weakest. John David Washington handles the role well enough, but the pacing and writing robbed him of emotional depth to expand on who Joshua Taylor is under the surface. I'm a big fan of Ken Watanabe, but would love to see him in big-budget blockbuster movies as more than just character C or D. Overall, the characters are one-dimensional and lack character arcs. Even the Colonel, played by Allison Janney, who delivered a tearful remembrance of how she lost both her sons in the war, was reduced to a bad person executing military orders. And again, I understand if the goal is to show that the humans have become more heartless than the robots. I just feel this message was muddled throughout the movie. If you're looking for 2 hours to kill and want visual stimulation, The Creator isn't a terrible watch. However, there are several movies surrounding similar themes that would be, in my opinion, more enjoyable. My rating for this movie is 2 out of 5 stars. In my view, while humans can empathize with robots, they will never fully equate them with humanity. Being human encompasses the complexities of life, growth, decay, aspirations, struggles, and the inherent uncertainties and hopes that define our existence. That's it for today's episode of Critically Speaking. Thanks for joining us as we explore the latest movies, games, and hot topics. Stay up to date with our latest content by hitting that notification bell. And if you enjoyed the show, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And as always, stay critical.